live here. Be uploading the new episode of the podcast. Doing that right now. It says we're live. What's up? What's up? First time going live in quite some time. The studio / office in my apartment finally opened up, and I know my fiance is sick of hearing me talk to all my internet people. What's up? What's up? I am uploading today's podcast right now. Actually, I'm a little bit late on it. I didn't have a chance to record earlier. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Who's got some questions for everybody, or who has questions? I'm trying to, there we go. I'm trying to set this up. I didn't bring the tripod down here this time, but maybe next time we will. I'm just having my computer set up with the little tripod here, uploading today's podcast. It's about the Topps Living Set cards for soccer and how the Topps Living Set has sort of blown up a little bit for soccer. What's up? What's up, Greg? Let's see, what episode would it even be? I have to, I think it's 20. Go to episodes. Let's see. What's up, everybody? Anybody have any questions? You think Zion will take a little bit of a dip? No, I mean, I do, with Zion leaving the bubble, I think is, what's up, Cage? I have not opened the box yet. I'm excited to open that up. Is Terp in here? What's up, Terp? We've got the eye emojis, yeah. Oh, we got some eye emojis, all right. I almost spilt the beans today. I gotta title this podcast. What is it? It's Topps Living Soccer. To shortly answer the question about if I think the Zion prices will go down, I do not think the Zion prices will go down because I think he's going to be back in time for the start of the regular season. I think, what's the date? The 16th. I mean, if he had a family emergency, he couldn't have had a family emergency at more of a perfect time. So, rip is right. If Zion if he had a family emergency, which is what the news was, he couldn't have had a emergency at a better time, because if he needs to quarantine, then he basically will be ready to go for the start of the season. Yeah, the Rania and Havertz set. I ordered some Havertz ones. It's crazy. The Rania and Havertz ones are like almost 6,000, which is absolutely insane. Which is like I can't figure out why that happened. Like, that was one of the things that I was talking about on the podcast today. What's up? What's up, Bailey or Joe or whoever's in here? Because I know it's both you guys. The Mbappe and Sancho, I ordered those like a few months ago, probably let's see. I ordered, I think, 4 of the Sanchos and 2 of the Mbappes, and I think I ordered the Mbappes for 12 apiece, and the Sanchos, or Sancho, I always forget how it's pronounced, but I ordered 4 of those, and then 2 of the Mbappes, which Mbappe, he only has 400 total of that print run, and then the Sancho only has like 200, which is crazy. And to see that like Rania and Havertz have like almost 6,000, like that doesn't really make much sense to me. And I can't figure, and then Haaland and Davies are also now in that top 6. If you go to like the Topps if you go to the Topps UEFA Topps Living Set archives, if you go into that set, you'll see. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like the Mbappe silvers. Like over the summer when I bought 2 of the, what's up, Mike? When I bought 2 of the Mbappe silver PSA 10s, I own 2 of the PSA 10s for the silvers, and I had 10% of the total population from last summer, which I think it's in the, like, there was only 25 or something like that, so I think it has gone up to like 30 or 40. I haven't actually checked, but that's that was one of the main reasons why I was buying soccer last summer, was because last summer I looked at like the print runs and I looked at all of the like pop reports, and you could like I bought 4 Mbappe base PSA 10s, and that was still like 3% of the population. Where like if you were to do the same for Luka and you bought 3, you'd own like 0.0001%. Like it's the percentage you can own for soccer by buying 2 or 3 cards is insane. And that was like for me that was those were a couple of the main reasons why I was buying soccer there. Topps Living Soccer set on today's episode of the podcast. I talked about how the Topps Soccer Champions League soccer Topps Champions League Living set has gone up. Yeah. The interesting thing about Betts too is like he's one of the only He's one of the only players that had a rookie, like a Topps rookie, and a Bowman Chrome card, first Bowman, in the same year, which I don't remember why that was. Like, because as a Red Sox fan, I remember Betts coming up, but I don't remember the reason why Betts had a Bowman Chrome, first Bowman Chrome, and then also in that same year, the 2014, he had the Topps rookie. Like, I remember Jose Abreu was another player who also had that. I think his was 2015, if I'm not mistaken. He had a first Bowman, like, because so maybe was Betts an international prospect? Because I think that's what the reason is. Because I know Abreu was an international prospect, and that's why his Topps rookie and his first Bowman were in the same year. Mookie. Let's see, Mookie Betts. I also need to post this podcast. Arenado too. So maybe those years it was just like. Maybe that's just what happened, because like Bryce Harper, I think, had his first Bowman in 2011, and his rookie was in 2012. And I don't know exactly, because I know with Harper he got called up very quickly. Now you could even see that this year, I think, which obviously we know is a way different year compared to most. But like this year we could see some players who got their first Bowman. Arenado was 13. Okay, so that makes. Yeah, so I'm guessing it must have just been different back then how players got their first Bowman. Maybe for some reason maybe you had to play a few years in the minors to get the first Bowman card or something. Because like with this year, we could see a couple players that got their first Bowmans this year that are in the majors, which Bobby Witt would probably be the one if the Royals call him up, depending on when they want to do that. But there probably will be some players in Bowman draft that may have Bowman draft first Bowmans, and then also Bowman draft first Bowmans. Oops, I flipped it around. Sorry, everybody. That'll have, like I said, first Bowman this year, Bowman draft, or Bobby Witt from Bowman Baseball. And then Topps rookies, I guess. On this episode of the podcast, I talked about the Topps Champions League Living set and how it has grown a lot recently. Okay. So we're going to publish this. This is episode 2, season 1, episode 210. Right, 210? Yeah, here we go. Where's the upload button? Oh, publish now. All right, cool. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Just uploaded today's podcast. I'm a little bit late on that episode. I'm not sure if I'm going to upload this as a podcast or if not. Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing that Topps has I feel like Topps has all the control this year, like when it comes to who they include and who they don't include, because I don't think, like we saw last year, they totally manipulated the rookie process. What's up, Harms? How we doing? They totally manipulated who got rookie cards and who was included in 2019 versus 2020, which I would say the top Series 1 2020 is going to be pretty good compared to most other years Series 1, just for the fact that there's 10 rookies in there that are good. The 2017, what's up, Tom? There's the 2017 top Series 1 product was pretty good too. That one had had Andrew Benintendi, it had Aaron Judge, it had Moncada. It had some pretty decent names in there, and I do kind of wonder, with prospects like that, I do wonder if we're going to look back at certain years worth of prospects and if it's going to be, if we're going to look at them similarly to how we look at them now. Because, that's one thing I'm getting a little bit weary on when it comes to prospects, when it comes to buying rookies and younger players, because, Moncada on the Red Sox. Because I think the sale trade was later on in the offseason, I'm pretty sure. So, Series 1 comes out in January, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to think of when that sale trade would have gone down. Probably the owners' meetings or whatever. So, that sale trade, which I think the sales, I don't know, trades are weird because, I think the sale trade was good because we got a World Series out of it. Whether they cheated or they didn't cheat to win the World Series, I think that's kind of another story. I don't necessarily know one way or the other if they did or didn't. But granted, their pitching staff and their hitters were just ridiculous in 2018 for the Red Sox. And the weird thing is that they basically came back with the same team in the next year, and they weren't as good. So that's going to be weird to look back at that season. Because if you look at interesting trades the White Sox have made, they traded for James Shields a while ago, and they had Fernando Tatis in their system, and he was one of their lower international prospects. And so, granted, I don't think his upside was not what he is now at the time, but that trade, James Shields and having Fernando Tatis in that trade is such a crazy. It's got to be one of the worst trades probably in sports history in retrospect, knowing what Tatis is now and knowing what happened to Shields when he got to Chicago, and when he got to Chicago. Yeah, when he got to Chicago, and he was just terrible. So, it is kind of crazy to see the White Sox make a trade almost in reverse, which Moncada at the time of that trade, he was the number one prospect in baseball. So it's not like they were trading some no-name for Chris Sale. They were trading the number one prospect in baseball and then also their top pitching prospect in Michael Kopech, who is kind of another story where he's I think he opted out of this season and he's been hurt, so it's been kind of a rocky career for him. Pause due to poor connection. Yeah, it's been kind of a rocky career. What's up, Jimmy? It's been kind of a rocky career for Michael Kopech. And let me see who else was in that trade. I know because Chris Sale trade, because the Kopech Moncada combination at the time, Moncada being the number. Oh, here it is. So Victor Diaz, Luis Alexander. Not really that great. Also, that first year is kind of interesting where the Red Sox had they still had Buchholz, it looked like, and they had Pomerantz, which Actually, who was in that Pomerantz trade? Because that was a bad trade. Drew Pomerantz trade. Because that was terrible. Where was that? Padres signed Drew Pomerantz. What is it? I think they traded like somebody, Espinoza, I think that's who they traded for. Which Pomerantz was terrible when he got here. Let's see, where does it say? Anderson Espinoza, what? No. Anderson Espinoza for Pomerantz, which I don't think Espinoza's in the majors, so either way, I mean that wasn't a great trade for the Red Sox there. But you know, this year, I think the craziest thing about this season is going to be which team exceeds expectations, and do we see a team that's like a favorite kind of falter because they're like, well, they don't really care because it's a shortened season. Like, I can't believe, the one thing that's kind of crazy is like the Red Sox lost Mookie Betts, they lost Chris Sale for the year with the Tommy John. They lost, or not really lost, they traded Mookie Betts. They traded David Price, who, if they hadn't made that trade, who knows if Price would have pitched here, but they lost basically two of their top pitchers. And then they also, Eduardo Rodriguez, who's supposed to be our number one starter now, has the corona. Like, he was in Florida and didn't travel back with the team. So, like, they did get back. I mean, granted, Evaldi is like a crazy person. He's either going to be extremely good, like he was. Like, it's crazy to think back to that World Series when they played that like 20-inning game and he pitched 9 innings in extra innings. Like, that was crazy. I wanted that game to go until the sun came up in Boston. I think that would have been hilarious. That obviously didn't happen, but Evaldi, so he's probably going to be the top starter. But then you look at the rest of the pitching staff of the Red Sox, and it's just absolutely not great. It's not good at all. Now, granted, they got Verdugo, then they have Verdugo for another 3 years. Now, Betts is going to be a free agent, so like, I don't want to be a homer and say that there's a good chance that they could get Betts again, but he's like still friends with a lot of the players here. And if the Red Sox offer him the most amount of money, like, why he deserves he deserves like a 10-year Mike Trout type contract. Granted, I think after this season, I'd be surprised if we saw any of those types of contracts anymore because I don't think the money is there. Oh, Betts to the Yankees would be absolutely insane. I mean, have the outfield be Betts, Giancarlo. Oh, I guess Giancarlo Stanton would be a DH. Or if it's Betts, Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, that would be terrifying. And and then eventually in a couple years you got the future Mike Trout, Jason Dominguez coming up, which is what everybody says. Jason Dominguez is the next Mike Trout. The team that I'm most excited to watch is going to be the White Sox for sure, because of Luis Robert, because of Eloy Jimenez, because of Tim Anderson. I'm excited to see what they do with Andrew Vaughn, if they want to bring him up or how they're going to kind of navigate his availability. Like, I would definitely say for him, they're going to wait the allotted time where they can have that extra year of control. But at the same time, the White Sox have shown that they don't care about service time, or they don't care as much about like having that extra year, because like Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, they both signed 6-year extensions on top of their rookie deals this offseason and then the last offseason. And I mean, you're talking about Pawson from the Athletics? Because I don't think he made the roster, if I'm not mistaken. Robert Pawson. when are me and Sasha going to do another show? We should do one soon. I mean, like I said, I found out, this is funny, I found out like a couple weeks ago that my fiance had told me that all the recording stuff I was doing in the other room when I thought she was sleeping she could just hear everything I was saying. So granted, it was all baseball card stuff. There wasn't anything that was weird, but like realizing that, I was like, oh, I probably can't be recording out here late at night anymore if I know that she can hear me and if it's gonna wake her up. So I mean, soon, I guess. I mean, like I said, I'm down here in this office in my studio, which is nice. So I can hit him up, and I'm sure Sasha would be down to do a show any day of the week. So I just gotta hit him up. Gotta plan that out. I'm going to be doing some interview stuff in the next few weeks. I just put out an interview with one of my friends, Jason Richardson. He is a fitness instructor / content creator out in the Bay Area, and he had gotten into sports cards about a year or so ago. So I asked him about some of his sports card stuff, and I mean, he's into content, so that was a ton of fun. And he likes music, so that was cool to kind of talk to him about some of his music stuff. Like I said, I do think the White Sox, so Chicago White Sox roster. Let's see. So I mean, yeah, Luis Robert, Moncada. They just got Mazzara. They got Dallas Keuchel. They've got Eloy. They just re-signed Jose Abreu. They just signed Yasmani Grandal. They've got Edwin Encarnacion. Excuse me. So I mean, the White Sox are definitely the team that I'm probably the most excited for this year and going forward. Just considering how well they. Yes, the Braves too. They just signed. Braves just signed Yasiel Puig, who had some interest with the Red Sox. I would have loved to see that. I'm interested. I think I need to do some more research on like Puig and like his card market, because like when he came into the league, it feels like his cards were. I don't know. This is the research I need to do. I need to look into his cards, because like if he must have been the biggest thing out there for cards, and I think it was 2013 or 2014 for Puig. So I don't know where the card market was at the time, but it feels like he must have been the biggest thing out there. Not sure how it'll fit. I mean, because Atlanta. Let me look at their roster. Braves depth chart. Yeah, like it feels like Puig was like. It felt like he had the opportunity to like revolutionize like the funness of the game, if that makes sense. So I mean, Puig could play. He probably just is gonna like, you got Duvall, you've got Ozuna. It feels like he's probably just the fourth or fifth outfielder. I mean, realistically, I think that's what you're gonna see is probably like you'll probably see a lot of these random players get signed to like 1 or 2 year deals. Like Puig isn't random, but like he sort of is, I guess you could say. But it seems like he will get signed. Like players like him that may not necessarily be starters will get signed because of the fact that because of just the season, and maybe actually I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting season. So my phone is actually about to die, so I'm gonna hop off of the live. Thank you everybody for watching. First one back. I'm excited to do some more of these lives. Thank you everybody. I will see you later.